Classic League Podcast time!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 285 of the Classic Elite Podcast. My name is Scott, and the shoulder shimmy is back with my co-host Dustin. Dustin, what's going on, man?
Oh my goodness, we're back.
We are back. Hey guys, how's the theme song audio levels? Let us know. It feels a little harsh on my end, but it might be mixing well. I don't know. I need to get a soundboard now that we're back after this 6 or 7 month hiatus.
Yes,
I need to double down and get a mixer so you can hear the theme song as well.
that's why we've been gone. We've been looking for venture capitalists to help us buy some guns.
Yeah, and we were unsuccessful, so we're back on the internet, just going,
Yes.
Hello, please help. So, let's see here. Zarek in chat says, I got so excited when you came into my chat. I dropped a peppermint patty. R.I.P. my peppermint patty. I'm hoping you feel like it was worth it. Maybe we are like his his peppermint patty from the Peanuts. He was missing us so much.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Whatever.
Is she the one that always pulled up the? No, that's Lucy.
That's
that pulled
Lucy.
up the-
Yeah. I thought people had a crush on peppermint patty. Am I wrong? Or am I just thinking everybody loved Patty mayonnaise? So Patty's just, if it's a cartoon Patty, I assume everybody loved her. Is that where I'm at?
Peppermint patty mayonnaise.
That has to exist, doesn't it? So yeah, everyone, welcome to our video game podcast. We have been gone for a few months now. All I will say is, Dustin put up a update video on our YouTube channel. So if you're curious where we've been, Dustin explains his side. Coincidentally, I've had probably the toughest 9 months of my life over there. So towards the end of before the hiatus up till now, things are clearing up a bit, but still, life is awesome, we'll say. So, it just made sense for us to kind of take a break, get life in order, and we both seem to kind of get ready and be ready to get back to it at the same time, which is really nice. So, Dustin, does it already feel like old hat yet? This stumbly intro?
No, I think it feels brand new and fluid and natural, and genuine.
All right. I will accept all of those, but brand new. So, I guess to get the show started, because we're pretty much just going to treat it like we didn't really take much of a break. I've got a really quick announcement. While we were gone, the Retro League, the podcast that got Dustin and I to be friends, we met on their forums. Dustin got a hold of us and became friends through emails after that, and now we've been dear friends for a really long time. Unfortunately, the Retro League is no more. If you've been a long-time listener of our show, you know that we've had a lot of fun with Hugh and Rob, and we participated in a lot of the cool events that they did. So the reason I bring that up is not only will we miss that podcast, but Hugh has actually come back with a new podcast. It's called the Retro Game Club. It's excellent. It's with a new co-host, but as confusing as possible, his name is also Rob. Okay. So clearly Hugh has a type. But this Rob is in Michigan, and I believe he's in Michigan, so my neck of the woods, which is cool. But some of the differences is they get a little bit more into the technical side of, like, early on, like Genesis development and things like that. So while there's still a similar vibe, it's a different subject matter, but still retro games and whatnot. So go and make sure to check out Retro Game Club. Our good friend Hugh is on there. I've had some email correspondence with him, and Dustin, I'm sure you're not going to mind. We're going to do some cross promotion and have some guest opportunities to hang out with each other on our podcast. So
hell yeah, dude!
Very excited about that. Also, I guess, Dustin, what do you want to talk about that's been good over the last 6 months before we jump into video game news?
Goodness. So, since we're a video game podcast, I'll talk about a movie. The Halloween reboot was really good, or the sequel.
I've heard it was pretty good, actually.
I enjoyed that.
I've seen a couple decent movies. I got into smoking. I'm smoking some salmon right now for dinner. It's going to be good. That's another nerdy thing to get into the rabbit hole of.
Yeah.
I'm also in the middle of trying to teach myself how to play slide guitar.
Ooh, okay.
Really difficult. David Gilmour makes it look so easy, but he's David Gilmour. I shouldn't expect, because it looks easy for him, that I should just be able to sit down and play it. But it's super satisfying when I pull it off. Like, what I'm trying to do is learn the High Hopes solo from the Pink Floyd song.
Okay.
And when I get parts of it right, it's like, oh my God, I'm channeling Gilmour. This is awesome. It's so fun. So that's been keeping me busy outside. I'm sorry?
If it makes you feel any better, it all looks like magic to me.
Okay, well, there you go.
Looks and sounds like.
Yeah, especially Gilmour. He doesn't even play that many notes. It just...
Yeah.
It's the way the notes he chooses. It's like, I love him. I don't know. It's awesome. Well, so, okay, those are some quick things that we've been doing. I guess as our channel goes, before we talk about video game news, you'll start seeing a lot more activity. Feel free to give feedback. We're both going to be trying to do a few different things. I have a totally new setup now where all of my retro consoles are here to the left of me, so I can immediately stream them. My OSSC is in here, so we'll be going about all of that stuff. And then, but Dustin, you'll be proud. It still links to my main living room TV. So, like, the functionality still stayed the same. But yeah, you bought some new equipment and stuff. And what kind of things are you going to be looking to cover?
So, I finally have my setup in a way where all of my retro HD Vision cables work. HD Retro Vision cable. What did I say? Never mind, doesn't matter. But they all work, and my OSSC picks them up. I should be able to record high def, Super, and Sega Genesis stuff.
Hell yeah. That's
also
awesome.
Neo Geo CD.
The what OCD? What'd you say?
The Neo Geo CD.
Oh, okay.
And Sega Saturn. Actually, I have the ports for those too.
Hell yeah. What was wrong with your OSSC at first? Why was it only showing half of the Super Nintendo?
I don't know. I just passed it through a bunch of shit until it started working again.
Oh, really? It's like you finally fed it a signal it agrees with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was strange because you were just going exactly the same setup I had, and yours was behaving a little different. So
yeah, it was so weird. I get what it is it's probably the Hapog HD PVR. And it's like a dog trying to take medicine. I just put enough peanut butter on it. He was just like, cool.
I was actually starting to look at maybe getting a different capture device because the Elgato that I have does fine with what I need it to do, but it only does like 480p as far as being compatible with the different upscalings from the OSSC. And there's a bunch of other options where I could get the 3x and 4x settings to work, so I could get a 720p or a 1080p signal.
Cool.
So we'll see. And I kind of want to do a playthrough where I play the entire bit of Doki Doki Panic on the channel. And the only reason I want to do it was I was watching a speed run, and a guy made an offhand comment that there's a secret ending if you complete every stage with every character. I don't know. So I immediately shut it off in case he talked about it. And so I'm gonna be on a quest to see what the secret ending is or what the extra ending is as a series. I think that'll be fun.
Also, I have a Friday. Castlemania should ship out my RetroTink 2X.
Oh, you got one of those?
I did.
Those are cool. And that's the I'm hoping I'm thinking of the right thing. That's like the little 480p upscaler device that works with just basically any component cables.
Component, composite, S-video.
Yeah, and it's like it does a 480p signal, I think, and it's about it's about $100 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw the My Life in Gaming guys do a video on it, and I was like, that is a sweet device for the price.
Yeah, and RGT 85 did one too.
Okay,
And
I'm not familiar with.
He couldn't praise it enough. Like, he loved it.
Hell yeah. So I guess keep an eye out where we'll continue with the same type of stuff that we were doing, where it's old video games mostly, but maybe a slightly different presentation. Dustin may be on camera for some of the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
Or he just loves green cloth. I don't know. We'll figure out what the answer is. So yeah, that's kind of the update. That's thank you for anybody that has stuck around. We have gotten some messages over the last several months that just meant a lot. It was really cool to know that people listened to the show and missed us. And there are a couple of names that I couldn't tell who they were. So it was that much cooler that, I don't know, someone had missed us that doesn't always interact with us. We've talked about it before that, you know, we'll see our numbers like from different podcast apps or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it feels like bots are downloading them or nobody's actually listening or whatever. So to get some feedback from people that they missed the show was really cool. So thank you very much to all of you that reached out to us in some way to let us know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Dustin, I thought it would be fun to go through, because our show took a hiatus on a real abrupt, like unexpected. I had show notes ready for episode 285. So I want to just go through the headlines to give you context of what we were going to talk about on 285. Number 1, THQ. Alrighty. So Dustin, did you hear me say that THQ Nordic acquired the rights to Kingdoms of Amalur?
I heard number 1, THQ Nordic.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how it felt for me. He either says Windows aggressively updates. But hey, what are you gonna do? And this is really funny to me. So Castlevania, there's a Castlevania collection for PS4. This was really cool 7 months ago, but there's a better announcement to actually talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Alan Wake, according to this article, is being adapted for a TV series.
I'm down.
The PlayStation Mini is announced, Dustin. We can.
That's going to do well.
What do you think it's? Yeah. What do you think it's going to be like? It's not like
have Gran Turismo.
I hope it's a worldwide thing. So there's a little bit of PAL, there's a little bit of NTSC. You know, I think that would be a really cool thing. No one's ever done that. Might be a great approach to take. $80. I think these things are going to be hard to find. Also, we were going to mention that some cloud saves won't support the Nintendo Switch Online in the online service. The Nintendo Switch Online service will be going live in 3 weeks, according to the notes. And then Samurai Showdown, a new Samurai Showdown, is coming to PS4. I never played it much, but Samurai Showdown was one of the games at our roller skating rink that was in a Neo Geo cabinet that, like, the badass kids played the Neo Geo fighting game.
Yeah.
It had that kind of mystique to it.
When I played Samurai Showdown in arcades, and I think if you hit somebody, the final hit with a fierce attack with your weapon, there's like a gush of blood, and they like fall in half.
Okay.
That was the pinnacle of video games at that time. Like, I was like, they can't get any better.
It's like Mortal Kombat, hold my beer. You know?
Because it was just completely unprompted. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
And I was just like, whoa, this is the greatest thing ever.
There was a lot of that in our and I was in a household where my parents were pretty strict, so I had to jump through hoops to watch Beavis and Butthead, and I was a master with the remote control with the back button. And I was always, whenever I was watching TV alone, I would always manage the back button. So if I wanted to go to MTV to watch Beavis and Butthead, I would always go to like ESPN first or something first before I went to MTV. So I always had like a legitimate, because if I ended up at BET or VH1, my parents knew I was watching MTV because they were next to each other. So I needed a big jump away from channel 42 or whatever it was. As Eric says, the PS Mini, I can't wait. Either says the Vita 2.0. It's going to be awesome. But in all seriousness, Dustin, with news, let's talk about this Konami collection. You tell us about this Konami actually celebrating awesome stuff from their gaming past.
Yeah, it's their 50th year, isn't it?
That's what the article said.
So
it's not really an article. This is the most boring corporate. Like, this is the kind of an update you'd see on a plumber's website. Like, just like a local businessman at Konami.com. But yeah,
there's a little something for everybody. They have Arcade Classics, which has Haunted Castle, which is also available on PS4. Typhoon Nemesis, also known as Gradius. Vulcan Venture, also known as Gradius 2. Life Force, also known as Salamander. Thundercross, Scramble, and Twin B.
And
go ahead.
I was going to say, and after this, this is the Classic Elite collection. Like, we should get royalties,
right?
Or actually, it just makes these just make my heart warm. It just feels tailored towards us.
Okay, the other two are the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, that right now has Castlevania 1, 3, 4, and Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge for the Game Boy. That's 4 banger games. Like, those are awesome. There's 4 more coming that they haven't announced yet.
So, what 4 do you want?
I want Bloodlines. I want Legends, the other Game Boy game.
Okay.
That had Sonya Belmont in it. I want...
What about the WiiWare?
Ooh, yeah, the Adventure Rebirth. Oh, yes, absolutely.
I heard.
Yeah, that's not on there.
I want to take credit for that. I saw it on Twitter. I forget who though. Re-released that WiiWare thing, man. It was the only. It's not available anymore. You can't even go re-download it or anything. If it's not on your Wii, that's it. I loved that choice.
And put on Lament of Innocence.
Okay. Not played 2 of those.
And then put them all in one game and make it a physical release with a big-ass hardbound art book and a lock of Koji Igarashi's hair.
People act like gamers ask for too much. And they're wrong.
Oh, man, did you see Bloodstains April Fools?
No.
It was a game in a bag of blood, of like actual Koji Igarashi's blood.
Okay.
But it was like a picture of a Switch game in a bag of blood.
I love that.
Yeah, it was great.
They must be feeling pretty confident if they're doing stuff like that.
Yeah. And in real life, I would have bought that.
Oh, I know you would have. And you would have been pissed when it was corn syrup or whatever and not.
Like, I tasted that. It's clearly corn syrup. It's the first thing I did.
You bought 2, one that you could leave sealed and one you could taste.
Yes.
Let's not get it twisted. That's how it would happen. Did you ever do that with comic books when you were a kid? I did that on the Return of Superman. But everybody else did, so it's still worth $2.
Yeah.
But yeah. In 4th grade, my mom was my mom used to think I was going to be like Alex Keaton from Family Ties, Michael J. Fox's character.
Uh-huh.
Right? Alex P. Keaton. Yeah, I think that. Yeah. They because she's like, he's investing it in 4th grade. And I'm like, no, I know it appeared that way, but I didn't understand money. I just knew that it was cool to have the Wizard, which was like with the almanac of pricing. There was like the price guide or whatever. And Beckett was for
toys.
Yeah. And Beckett was for baseball. So it was all about having the card that had the highest value to brag to your friends about.
That's my indie rock band. Beckett was for baseball.
That's a really, oh my God, I really like that. Like, unironically, really like that. Yeah, so, Dustin, I think that it would sell. Let me ask you this. So I was listening to Colin Moriarty talk about this collection, and he was saying he'll be really disappointed if Simon's Quest is not on this collection.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think they'll get too much flack if they put it on there.
That was exactly what I was thinking. I agree with him, especially because of the soundtrack and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a really important game, but I mean, is a 21-year-old going to care more about the history and the pureness of it, or is it just better to give them games that are, I don't know, presented in a different way or a little less clunky or whatnot?
Yeah.
Unless they fix some stuff. Like if they made the night transitions really fast, and if they do some of the fan translation fix patch stuff that you can get, you know, and they give helpful hints in the town, then if they make some of those like slight tweaks. But all I was trying to say was, I guess you probably heard everything that I was saying. So that I just hope that they can maybe tweak a couple of things to Simon's Quest.
Yes.
And if they polish some of those things that were really annoying about the first one, or the original, I should say. I'd love that.
Do a remake. Let WayForward do it. And all the night transitions will be really quick, but there'll be a cutscene every 5 minutes.
Oh man, dude! I actually because I've been playing Mario Maker recently, so I actually did fire up DuckTales.
Okay.
Because like the Amazon just still sucks, but it plays great and the sound is good. They did almost a 10. Way forward in the cutscenes. What are you gonna do? So yeah, that's the Konami Castlevania version. So now we're gonna talk about I can't believe that they're actually doing this one, but they're doing Contra.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable for me to see. So what they are doing in Contra is you're going to get, of course. No, oh no, wait a minute. Dustin?
Yes?
We have a problem. We got a really big problem. And console units, including... Okay, hold on. How are you interpreting this? Okay, the Contra Anniversary Collection will bring classic Contra titles previously released on arcade and console units, including Contra Arcade Version, Super Contra Arcade Version, Super C, Contra 3, The Alien Wars, and more. The arcade versions of Contra are terrible. Have you played them at all?
No.
Well, okay, maybe terrible is a little not fair, but the NES versions are just so good. How could they release... What in the world is up with the original Contra? It never gets released on anything.
Maybe Nintendo has a lock on it? That seems
that seems so unlikely though. Yeah. And why would they have it different for for Super C and Contra 3 and all this stuff?
Maybe their NES Contra is just understood. They're just going to throw in the arcade releases also.
That's what I'm hoping. But if they're taking up two game slots with NES and arcade, I don't know. Oh man, this is what I get for not reading the details. Get my heart broken. So I would also like to see Contra Rebirth. I think that would be awesome. I would like to see, I don't know how they would do it, but a re-release of Contra 4, that DS game.
Yeah, that would be great.
Was that a Way Forward game? Or
I think so.
Someone really impressive did that. I think that might be Way Forward. I I think some of the Yacht Club team members, when they left Yacht Club, I think some of them might have been involved in that. But Contra 4 is brutal. It's very difficult, but it is excellent. It's a very fun game. But Contra 3 Alien Wars is excellent. Yeah, I'll just be really bummed if they hold the NES collection once again from people. Like, Virtual Console didn't get the NES collection, or the NES version. They just got Super C. And Super C is good, but let's not kid around.
Right.
It's just not as good. So, next up, let's talk about the Mega SG. Did you see this? It was the new thing from Analogue.
I have not. Is that what everybody's talking about on... No? I thought it was what everybody was talking about on Twitter.
Well, they are. The next story is a Sega Genesis Mini.
Okay. So no, I haven't seen this about the Analogue. Is that another...
You remember the $200 Super Nintendo they did?
Mm-hmm.
This is that for Genesis.
Oh, all right.
And I was listening to the Bombcast today, and Jeff Gerstmann had mentioned that the jailbreak firmware was released, so you can load games from the SD card slot that's in there. Now, will that open up more cores? I'm assuming so. They didn't get into that, but remember the first Analog NT, the NES one? You could just dump a bunch of cores on it and run all sorts of different games. I don't know if the Super Nintendo one had the same functionality, or if it was almost like building in like an EverDrive where you could just put all the Super Nintendo ROMs on there and they would work. I don't know. I would have known this a year ago or whatever when it came, a year or two ago when it came out, but I didn't buy one, so I don't know. This thing looks awesome. I'm not going to get one because of the OSSC, and I have a Model 1 Genesis with if you want to get really nerdy about it, I've got the one with a really good sound chip in it as well. Right. Rob at RetroRGB.com, he has a video that explains how to tell if you have the good sound chip or not. So I'm lucky enough that I already have this stuff, but if I didn't have the OSSC and the Genesis that I got when I was a kid, that just happened to be like a lottery win, I think I'd be pretty tempted to get this thing.
I think one of the best looking sets of hardware is the original Sega CD, the original Sega Genesis with a power converter on top.
It looks like a ship or something, like a docking ship or whatever.
It looks like a future video game system that you would see in like Gundam in the 80s.
Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah.
It looks so cool.
I thought I was gonna call you a tryhard if you said a 32X. I'm like, now you're just being ridiculous. I know you don't think that looks good.
No.
It's like a mushroom growing out of it. But I agree. The Powerbase Converter looks awesome.
Yeah.
I think that this Mega SG is going to have some products that come out that are going to allow for that kind of stuff.
Cool.
I don't think the original Powerbase Converter works on it. I'm not sure about that, though. Yeah, I mean, I know you're also in the same position. You have a already good setup for streaming and playing these games on high quality on your new TV. So we're kind of good from... All right, let's see here. Oh, there we go.
I can't imagine how hard it would be to build a retro collection now.
Oh, it's like so prohibitively expensive.
And that's not even considering, like, there are so many like repro cartridges out there. Like, none of it's authentic anymore.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So, I mean, that's when the case for using the EverDrives and just going ROM-based is kind of the only answer.
If you're not getting the original thing anyway, might as well just
go with what's out there and play it. I mean, If we've shown we're one of those types that will buy stuff as it comes out. If Konami does a good job, we're gonna buy it. We're suckers, you know.
That's right.
You know, Nintendo's gonna sell us stuff, but in the instances where that's not gonna ever be an option, load up the ROMs, man.
Yeah.
Play the games. They're important to be played.
Ether asks which Gundam. I'm gonna say 0083. Which one was War and Pocket?
So you didn't just make that up?
No.
Bravo.
That's a real thing. I have that on DVD in the next room.
I need to... I only watched the first 2 episodes of season 2 of Castlevania. And that's the only anime I think I've really watched. I know. My brother texted me and he's like, dude, you need to finish season 2.
Oh, my goodness.
He said it gets... I think you used the word brutal or something like that. So I definitely need to get back to it.
There are scenes towards the end. I'm not going to spoil anything. But those scenes...
He had told me. He's like, it's just watch. So I will for sure. But the whole reason I brought that up is I don't watch like any anime. That's the closest I've been to watching anime. So I never know if you're full of shit and goofing or being serious. Good deal. And then also Sega is going to release a Sega Mini. So yeah, I get Sega all day.
From what I understand, it has Bloodlines on it.
Yes.
That is a big deal.
They've announced 10 of the games so far, and it's Echo the Dolphin, which someone that worked on Echo the Dolphin started following us on Twitter, which I thought was really cool. So I followed him back. We had 2. There was someone from the Sega helpline and and the Echo the Dolphin developer, like on the same day. So I don't know. Did you like strike a chord somehow with a great reference? I don't know. I give you the credit for it, however it happened. But Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines, Space Harrier 2, Shining Force, Backdoor Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Toe Jam and Earl, which I hear the remake is great.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Maybe we should revisit the Toe Jam and Earl video that we did years ago when it came out on like PS3.
Yeah.
Try it again. I don't know. That was fun.
I feel like that was like 2 months ago, but
it was,
I guess it was. Like
it was before children, probably for you. Honestly, I bet it was before you had any kids.
Yeah.
Comic Zone, Sonic the Hedgehog, Altered Beast, and Gunstar Heroes. So, Altered Beast stinks, but it's like it's always getting thrown in kind of a thing.
Yeah. We have video games that are a lot like how people want to trade out celebrities that die.
Okay.
Like Chris Cornell dies, and people are like, no, why? Take Justin Bieber instead.
Oh, yeah.
So we have, like, Contra for NES apparently is not being announced yet. I want to be like, no, give us Contra. Take Altered Beast.
Yeah.
We don't need Altered
Beast.
Beast.
You can wipe it from existence.
Yes.
And I have really fond memories about that game. It was the first time I had ever seen a Sega Genesis before. I was up in Canada, and there were these Japanese kids that lived across the street from my grandparents, and they had it. And I was like, what in the world is this? I'd never heard of the Genesis before. And I don't even know if I necessarily realized that when I saw my buddy, his grandma rented him a Sega Genesis, and the first time I saw Sonic, I don't think I made the connection that, oh my God, I saw this in Canada, like this system. Because in my mind, Sonic was the launch title or whatever. I was late to the Genesis game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, And I was in Canada, and everything was a little weird than what I was used to. Like, I remember cereals, like, I think it was Fruity Pebbles that were normally flat, but up there they were like balls, like more like tricks.
Oh. Poutine flavored?
I'd try some poutine flavored cereal. Let's not. But my grandparents really didn't give me any poutine. They're jerks. They like tried to keep me a sheltered American, even though I was in a foreign land. Yeah, and like there was a kid next door. His name was Alister. So it was just, to me, very like, the only Alister I ever knew was you can't do that on television.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, another Alister. And then it made sense. I found out that was a Canadian show as I got older. But I'd never known another Alister. So everything was a little different than what I was used to, but everything looked the same. It was the same kind of neighborhood I grew up in. It was just very strange. I don't know, when you're 5, that's how the world works, or whatever.
Bizarro United States.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have some... I mean, they hit your favorite Castlevania game. Are there some others that you were hoping for?
Was there a Streets of Rage on there?
No, that's a great one.
That's a real missed opportunity.
Well, no, they're announcing 30 more.
Oh, okay.
Those are just the 10 that they've announced. So I bet that shows up.
Yeah.
Shinobi 3 needs to be on there.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Streets of Rage 2.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yes. Oh, that makes perfect sense, especially with the remake coming out.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at what I have, Castlevania Bloodlines, Aladdin. I wouldn't mind that. A cool spot would be a fun one.
Ooh, yeah.
Quackshot.
Yes, dude. Quackshot is awesome.
I would lose my mind if they had the balls to bring Risk. Have you ever played Risk on Genesis?
I have not. No.
It's amazing. Instead of rolling dice, there's a shooting gallery game.
Ooh.
And the targets depend on how strong your army is, so it's great. Roger Clemens MVP baseball, obviously I love that. What about one of the X-Men games?
Yeah. X-Men 2.
That's what everybody says. I never played that one as much. Rocket Knight. Road Rash.
Rocket Knight would be good too.
Or Sparkster. Give me one of those. An awesome Mario 3 clone is Tiny Toons.
Yeah.
If you need a platformer. Yeah, what RPGs would be good? Because I never played those.
Phantasy Star 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Ease, of course. Not 3. We know better than that. Is there another Ease on Genesis? Is that the only one?
I think it's the only one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this Fantasy Star. What if they went and they brought us like a Truxton or a Musha or one of those?
Ooh, yeah.
They give us a taste of the rare shooters or whatever. That would be fun.
Yeah. That Punisher game.
Was that just like a beat 'em up? I remember a arcade beat 'em up Punisher game that was good. Don't remember a Genesis one. So I'd never played it. Though I'm looking at it. Obviously, they're going to put Golden Axe on there.
Yeah.
Which is fine. But it's always on there. How many times have they released all the Golden Axes on Genesis Collections?
Yeah. We're good.
That's how and Cyborg Justice for Zarek. Giant Bomb started playing that on UPF since the last time we recorded. And I got to get back and give that game a shot. It looks cool. How you like build your mech and you pick different items and then you go through like a beat 'em up. I didn't give it much of a chance when I first bought it, so.
There's a really cool platformer called Ranger X where you play as a robot.
Okay.
I bought it way back when, and I played it a little bit. That game was pretty rad. Put that on there.
What was it called? Something X?
Ranger X.
Ranger X. Okay. All right, Sega, you're done. You're welcome.
Cool. Send our check.
It would be fun to go back and audit this and see how many we hit. I think out of this whole conversation, I want one of those rare shooters. The most. Like a Truxton or Musha, one of those.
Yeah.
Just because they're so expensive. I don't know. I think it's a little funny. Like if they put Hagane on something, it's a little funny to people that freak out about the value of their game carts or whatever. We'll know that It'll be a very somber episode if they announce that like Hagane is getting re-released. Dustin's gonna be like, "Well, yeah, no, it's fine. I lost like $250 today, but whatever."
It's not like I'm ever going to sell it anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's basically worthless. It's only because it's just going to sit in my shelf until I play it.
But it makes dope tweets.
Yeah, right?
Every time you show that cartridge on Twitter, you do it about once a year, but it'll pop up and it just jaws drop.
Yeah.
Should even be humble about it. Be like, well, the cart's a little, or the label's a little scuffed. I'm looking for an upgrade.
This piece of garbage.
Anybody want it? Thinking about throwing away IDK.
This is just the. I have several. This is just the worst looking.
Yeah, this is the worst looking one. Anybody want it? Okay, cool. Did you have any other news? I don't.
I hate the idea of Stadia.
Oh, see, I love the idea of Stadia. Let's talk about that.
I like having physical games that I put into consoles.
So do I.
And that is the exact opposite.
I do not disagree with that. I also enjoy that as well. But that demo, certainly sweet. And depending on the pricing structure, I guess in my mind, I've accepted the fact that these modern games, I don't own them. I mean, even if you get the physical copy of the modern game, you don't have any of the patches. So will it even boot or play or whatnot? Yeah. So physical stuff, unless it's for the Switch or whatnot, it's really not worth it at this point. I mean, as far as from a preservation standpoint, I understand preferring that as the delivery method. But I guess since my mentality for new games is that I am just picking up a license, and I'm so Google committed. My cell phone's through Google. I use the Google Wi-Fi pucks. I've got a Google Pixel phone. Well, you know, I've forfeited my entire life over to Google. So why not let them sell me a 70? I've got a Chromecast, or the audio. They got rid of the Chromecast audio. It's one of the coolest things they've ever made. But I like, even though the controller was not praised highly, I loved the fact that the controller would go over Wi-Fi to the server and not through your machine.
Okay.
So it removes one level of potential latency there.
Yeah.
And I have been trying, Dustin, to get my Chromebook to stream from my PC forever. And my Chromebook will do apps, and I can get big picture mode, and I can get it to work. But for some reason, the Asus Chromebook I have just does not do controls or controllers.
Yeah.
So if I could just get my Chromebook experience exactly like I wanted it, and it fixes the controller issue, and I can use it on the other Google devices that I have, I'm like, you know, if there's a good deal on a game, or if I'm going, so I don't know. I don't hate the idea, and most people already have access to play it, so there's no new console to buy. Like, just open your browser.
Yeah.
So I like the less barrier of entry. So it's one of those give and takes, like you totally lose all rights. You're only renting a game at that point, and it can be taken from you at any point. But the convenience is so wild that you kind of have to give that up. It's like, what's the thing? You either have security or freedom. And
right.
Yeah. How, like, government security or freedom, or what, you know what I'm talking about? How there's that, like, balance or give and take or whatever. And this feels kind of like that. Like, you'll never have to. I shouldn't say it like that. It's very unlikely that they're ever going to have a game on their platform that's going to make you pissed you have to play it on that platform.
Right.
Like, you personally.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Just your tastes and styles and whatnot, and art backlogs are enormous. So I don't see it being that big of an impact on someone like you.
I just don't like the idea of software getting PT'd.
That's where I totally have a like support your point of view there. Just to have it disappear like that is really a bummer. You're seeing it with Nintendo stuff as well now, not just PT. You know, like we had talked about the WiiWare stuff.
Yeah.
Earlier, you know, I mean, it's not just PT that's happened to. That's definitely the best example about how it can just be taken from you for any reason, whether it's good or not.
Yeah.
And you're right. That is the case with Stadia. I think I can live in that world because I have so much physical gaming, I guess, is my... I think I'm okay with it. If it went away, whatever. I also don't see myself spending a lot of money in it because I will be more nervous that it'll be easier for them to kill off than maybe some other services. Like Google's very flippant. They get rid of products a lot. So
Yeah, they do.
I have a hard time believing that I would invest in a big library through them. But man, if like Assassin's Creed's going to be $10, I can just kind of play it like wherever. But what about some of the streaming features? What if, like, you're somebody that wants to, you enjoy having interactive content while you're playing games online, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, did you see the feature how you can share a link and somebody can just immediately join your game? There's no, like, Zarek could just start playing with us right now. Instantly. I know this is all in theory, but the convenience, it would all be nice and through YouTube. That's not even selling you?
No.
I swear Dustin and I are the same age. We were born like a few months apart. Okay, well, you know, I tried.
I also don't like Google.
That's totally fair. I don't either. I'm just admitting that I'm just in bed with them.
You're indentured at this point.
My problem is, like, what am I... It's really an out of the frying pan and into the fryer kind of a thing. Or into the fire, because what am I going to go to? Verizon? Ooh, yes, I love Verizon. Yeah, I'm already using T-Mobile through Google, and I like their pricing better. So... do I trust that T-Mobile is going to protect my data more than Google already isn't? No, not really. I don't want to change my email address. I'm toast, man. I just hope that I don't get arrested someday. So, Zarek says, Benjamin Franklin, those who give up essential liberty to purchase a little bit of temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety. There you go.
Boom.
I think I said security, not safety. Yeah. Zarek knew what I meant. Hey, Bradley, what's up? I've been chatting with him on Instagram. He was one of the ones that was like, hey, when are you guys coming back? And we got to nerd out a bit. I was like, did you hear Hugh's back? Hugh's got a new podcast? He's like, I didn't.
Sweet.
So I'm spreading the word. He was asking if we still talk to Kevin. I'm like, talk to Kevin all the time on Twitter.
Hell yeah.
So Kevin, if you hear this, you've been requested to be a guest on the podcast. We have tried to get him on before. And Kevin, I know you got a new laptop, so your excuses are dwindling.
He's up in Canada. The snow froze his internet pipes.
Oh, that's what it is. It's so funny. He's closer to me than you are, but he's in a whole different climate. Or not climate, universe. So, yes, Eric, that's definitely the quote. Yeah. Well, yeah, Stadia. Very divisive. Give me that gaming convenience, man, and you can Lucy my game at any point, and I guess I just have to live with that, right? Okay, Dustin. So here's a surprise.
All right.
So my mom, my parents went on vacation, so they asked if I had house sit. So I just go get their mail or whatever.
All right.
And on the counter, there was a note, and there's this box, and it says 50 retro game questions. It's a video game quiz.
Yeah.
So every episode, I am going to ask you a trivia question.
Cool.
And we're going to keep track of how good you do.
Oh, man.
and we'll give it like 5 or so questions, and this will give us 5 episodes, right? We're going to have stakes at some point, whether it's you versus Zarek.
I like mine medium well.
Whether it's you versus me. Medium well. Boy, it's not often we disagree a lot. But we just hit 2 things that I take back saying you're a dear friend. I'm just putting it out that way.
Is it rare? How do I take my steak? I haven't had steak in
Medium,
forever.
probably, like a human being does.
Maybe. Is it charcoal at that point?
Medium? No, what you're asking for.
Pink?
Yeah, medium's a little bit of pink.
Okay. Maybe. What's in between rare and medium?
Medium rare.
Medium rare.
That's probably the most.
Yeah.
I really wanted to be condescending about that answer, but decided our friendship is teetering right now. I'm going to be nice.
This reminds me. You remember when I forgot that that A exists? I was like in between A- and A+.
Oh yes, yeah.
I was like A+.
Like God, there's got to be a perfect thing if it's. Yes, Dustin. So, okay. So this is the trial run. All right.
Okay.
So Dustin, who is the first boss in the original Crash Bandicoot?
Oh, Nikes. This is the best start.
Yeah. That's why I didn't want to get all excited with stakes before we char this segment.
Let's go with, for the sake of time, Voodoo Vince.
Oh, close. Papu.
Ah, that was close.
Wah, wah. Chat, 10 bonus points if any of you knew that.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to do a random trivia question every episode at some point. I haven't looked at any of these. I just opened them and I'm not going to. So
Cool.
I also want to know but let's be honest, terrible setup. Like, you can't have 2 of us participate this way. Because it's logo and it's Q and A in the same spot. Really high quality cards. Great look and packaging.
Yeah.
Botch the layout. What are you going to do?
Version 2. I'll have it all sorted out.
Also, only 50 questions? This seems like a lot of material for only 50 questions.
They're all Crash Bandicoot related.
Oh my God, if it turns into that. I've never even played Crash Bandicoot.
I rented it 23 years ago, I bet.
Yeah, math checks out. It's not spelling. So, all right, sorry for lost the cough button. So, Dustin.
Okay.
We need to talk about our YouTube channel of the week.
Channel of the week.
Week.
Yeah. Did we talk about Drum Dums? I feel like we did.
Don't know. Sounds familiar, so probably.
All right. Let's talk about This is Dan Bell.
Okay.
This is a channel run by a gentleman named Dan Bell.
Never would have saw that coming.
And he does a series called the Dead Mall series, where he walks through dead malls.
You tweeted about this or something.
Yeah.
You absolutely exposed me to this.
And it is so fascinating. Mainly because I didn't even think of this. I watched like half of his playlist. I think there was like 49 videos. He walks through one of the malls I worked at as a kid.
Oh, wild.
I worked at a Walden Books in Oak Hollow Mall in High Point, North Carolina. And so he walks through the mall and he goes through in the editing and he adds mall noise and he plays vaporware in the vaporwave.
Vaporwave?
Yes, vaporwave. Vaporware is like what Duke Nukem was before it was released.
Yes.
He plays vaporwave in the background, and I got on like such a vaporwave kick. after watching these videos.
You need to. I've been listening to Critical Failure's Higher Claw Radio every now and again, and he's been really into vaporwave too. So he's been putting a lot of that in his podcast. He's been buying some of it on cassette tapes because, like, the artists will get them made and sell them on Bandcamp.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's cool, man. That's fun.
oh man, I transitioned from. This is completely different. This is tangential. I transitioned from iPhone to Android recently.
Oh, I noticed that. How have you liked that?
It's excellent. It is. I have a Galaxy S8, so it's not super current, but it is for the first time. I feel like I have a computer in my pocket.
I hate to tell you who developed that operating system, Dustin.
Yeah.
But now you see the juice, like, once you get a taste, and that's even with the Samsung skin over it. You're in IT, like, you play with computers, like, so Android, I'm not surprised that you enjoy Android, because it would, before, when you had Android, you had really shitty Android phones.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a nice Android phone, it really is a great experience.
It's awesome. Like, I have the Bandcamp app on my phone. I can find the music, buy it, download FLAC files.
Yes, the best.
Extract them to an SD card. I have all of my music on my phone. I have a 128 gigabyte SD card in this thing.
I know you're talking like this is a big deal in 2019. I know, like, because what was your iPhone? Awesome. What was your iPhone, like 16? I remember you complaining about it being like ungodly small.
It was garbage. It was like 16 gigs.
I think I'm at 128 as well, and I have 40 or 50 gigs of just music on there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only for if I happen to be like camping or somewhere where there's no cell reception.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I have storage on my phone. Because most of my photos are like pictures of labels so that it's easier for me to see the serial number when I'm trying to like type in my router password, or they're all dumb photos like that. Yeah. You can tell I have no kids. It's just, but you got kids, so you got all that video play stuff. You can just go hog wild. Oh, have you messed with the slow motion video? And the S8 is pretty good.
Not yet.
Funny with kids because they screw up, and slow motion kids falling is hilarious. Or if you like see like Sully hit Simon in the face with a ball or something, but you just happen to catch it in slow motion, and you get like the goosh.
But yeah, just having, like, I was born in 82, and having just days, maybe months worth of music on this little thing that's smaller than a dime. Yeah. It still blows my mind.
It does for me. When I try to think about it, it doesn't make any sense. Another thing with the S8, it has a really nice DAC in it, the digital audio converter. So you get really nice audio quality just straight out of the phone as well.
Yeah, okay.
Like, cool. So if you get some like high-end headphones, your phone will actually be able to take advantage of it.
That's rad.
Yeah. Yeah, the Samsungs are good.
And I have a set of the earbuds that came with my S5 way back when. I've washed those things twice in the washing machine.
They still work.
They still work perfectly. And they are incredibly clean.
Hey, and you avoided you got the one that was like just after the battery issue, so you have a very safe phone.
Yeah. I'll come in looking like toothpaste.
Actually, I think that was the Note 7, not the S, so. I don't want anybody picking apart my joke. Which actually is not funny because it was the wrong model. 7's after 9, okay? That's the joke. Or 7's before 9. Couldn't even get that right.
Because 7, 8, 9.
Yep. I love that joke. That's just a good old goofy.
It's great.
Yeah. So, phones, why'd we get on?
Vaporwave.
That's right.
This is Dan Bell, Dead Mall series. So it's not just him holding the camera, walking through a mall. He goes through, like, a lot of the most recent episodes are really different the way he goes through them. Like, one, he goes through the mall right before it closes down, and he goes and he intersplices video of after it's been like partially demolished.
Oh, okay.
Where he's walking through the exact same part, except now it's just like half gone.
That's a nice touch. That's a lot of thought. You're giving me a lot to chew on to go to sleep tonight. I got Dan Bell and got to get back on Castlevania.
Oh man,
I've been sucked into some other TV shows. I started Veep. I had watched the first 2 seasons, but I just started from the beginning. Veep is excellent. It's a very funny show. I think I prefer the thick of it a little more. It's like a British version in a way.
Okay.
It's got Malcolm McDowell. I think that's his name. The guy that was the recent Doctor Who. You know him if you saw him. I don't know if that's his name or not. I'm pretty sure the guy I'm thinking of is Malcolm. I just don't know his last name.
X.
Nope, he's not a funny British guy. Also, yes. No glasses on the Malcolm I'm talking about.
Okay. There.
So, yeah, where I worked in the mall, the store is gone, but that mall's still there, although barely.
Yeah.
So maybe someday I'll have this in common with you. Dan will come up here to Ohio and hang out with me. Cool. So what you been playing, man?
The biggest thing I've been playing, Resident Evil 2 Remake.
Oh, how is that?
It is fantastic. It is so good.
I've heard good things about it.
It is ridiculously good. It is so unfortunate for all other games that came out this year because it came out in January. It's probably going to be Game of the Year for a lot of people, myself included. It is incredible. It looks fantastic. It pays homage to the original. The original I've actually played recently. Like I went back and played through it for channel purposes. Keep an eye out. And I like it. Like the amount of focus on just what they wanted to do. I don't know that it's been done like that in the industry because they did not put a single bit of unnecessary fluff. I don't think there was a bit of scope creep in this entire project. Like, and it's just so good. It's good. It's good. I one of my favorite tweets that I've ever tweeted, and still hasn't got a retweet or a like, but did get it. I'm a little bitter about it because the tweet is funny. It's just it's a fat guy who's shirtless and he has a Santa cap on and he's holding his nipples, and all it says is Resident Evil 2 Remake exists, me, and then it's just the guy holding his nipples. Like that's how good it is. Like my only gripe is the stories overlap in a way that doesn't make sense canonically. Like you go through as Claire and then you go through as Leon, and they do the same thing in both walkthroughs, but it's supposed to be A and B.
Yeah.
But they fight the same boss at the same place.
Oh, okay.
So that doesn't make sense. And Mr. X can kind of get irritating, but I think it's my playstyle. Like I've looked another guy on YouTube, his name is Carcinogen SDA. He's a speedrunner. I watched some of his playthroughs, and I think you can manipulate him in such a way that where I was having problems with him, you could just skip.
Oh, okay.
Because you could put him in a different part of the game.
Yeah, I was curious what you thought of the Mr. X or whatever his name is. I was hearing the Easy Allies guys talk about it when that game launched. The Mr. X thing, or what's his name? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you got it right.
Oh, Mr. X. Okay.
Yeah.
It just makes me think of Arrested Development, Mr. X, or is it Mr. F? I don't know. But there's like it's season 3 of Arrested Development.
The only thing I remember is blah blah blah.
It's in that season, I think. The Scott Baio's in that. Like Charlize Theron is dating Michael, and they think that she's mentally retarded.
Yeah.
And then like what a weird.
I need to rewatch that.
It's amazing, that show. That's the worst season, I think. They just released a new season. The newer stuff is great as well. So yeah, I would recommend it. That show is fantastic. Cool. Resident Evil 2, everybody get it. Keep an eye out on our channel. Dustin's putting up content of the OG game, right? Or are you putting it up with a remake?
I hope to do a little bit of everything.
Awesome.
Or a lot of it, everything.
I like that. I've wanted to talk about this for a long time now. I ran on a coin in Super Mario.
I saw that.
That's it. I ran on a coin. I don't know exactly how it happened. There is a clip on our YouTube channel. I did like a 4 or 5 hour stream, and I played, other than Lost Levels, all the way through the Mario collection on All-Stars collection.
Cool.
This was a long time ago. But I ran on the coin, found the clip, put it on our YouTube channel. And there was someone that I don't know what it was about that stream, but it had a whole bunch of random people that came, and it was really fun. Not that I'd recommend you go watch 5 hours of me playing Mario, but it was a super, super fun stream, and people just hung out like all day. It was awesome. So I have been playing a lot of games since we've been gone. I'm not going to talk about these because we've been going long. I just want to tell you that, Dustin, I saw the credits in a lot of games while we've been on a break.
All right.
So the Destiny 2 campaign, I saw the credits for.
Cool.
I would recommend people go get the Blizzard client and download Destiny 2 because the campaign is free. Not the newer expanses, just like the launch campaign or whatever. Dude, It plays exactly like playing through a Halo campaign. It was fun. I liked it. It gets a little repetitive with the enemy types, but that's okay. I finally finished Rayman Legends. Not on the Wii. I bought that when it came out. It was the follow-up to Origins. It was the one that was supposed to be like the Wii U exclusive, and the Wii U was doing so bad they delayed it so they could put it on other consoles.
Yeah.
I like Origins better, but it's excellent. Gunman 1 and 2, Gunman Clive 1 and 2 got ported to Switch, and it was $4 for both games. Maybe it was $5. Play through both of those, saw the credits for both. Both those games are still A+, excellent. Diablo 3 on Switch. My cousin recommended it, said the port's great. I probably have a good 60, 70 hours in that port. I really enjoyed it. I played a Demon Hunter this time, which is back when I fell off at Diablo 3, the Demon Hunter wasn't an option. So, cool. And this is more of a gunslinger style. So, played a lot more different. I really enjoyed it. I also, on easy mode, I beat Into the Breach, which was made by the guy that did Faster Than Light, that FTL game that was like a strategy game or whatever. Into the Breach is awesome. It is really difficult. It is so cool. It's a strategy game where you're kind of on a grid that's like isometric or 3/4 slanted, and it's just this puzzle strategy game where you have units that you can upgrade and whatnot to defeat alien like you have to defeat so many waves of aliens by protecting things on your map and killing them. It's awesome. And then the thing I was the most proud of, Dustin, I had my very first Battle Royale win by myself in any game.
Hey.
And it was Tetris 99. I got first place. I took... You know what, man? I feel your pain on not getting retweeted on something you're real proud of. Crickets when I showed my picture of finishing first. And it was in the craze of Tetris 99. So I guess there was a bunch of people playing, so that was the best chance to have to win.
Yeah.
Have you tried Tetris 99? Did you get the online system from Switch? Do you know what Tetris 99 is?
It's a Tetris Battle Royale game.
Yeah, okay. Yes, that's all you need to know. Yeah, that's it. But it's included with the membership. You don't have to pay anything extra for it. So if you have the $20, you can it's just included. Cool. I'm not real happy with their NES games that they're slowly trickling out, but Tetris 99 in and of itself is almost worth the $20 a year. Like, it's so good. Hey, what's Eric saying here? He's got something for you.
He's saying, let's see. Vepper asked if he played RE2. He said yes. Zurich said yes. He loved and hated it. The RNG headshot crap drove him crazy. It's unacceptable that it can take anywhere from 1 to 12 headshots to take out the same zombie.
Especially when ammo is a scarcity, that feels unfair at times, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Zarek also mentioned that I can just flip the trivia card over with a second card blocking it. Yeah, that's too much effort. Like, he's correct. That is a great solution. Shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why is this? It's the cover of the box. Why does every card need to mimic the cover of the box? Doesn't make sense.
They didn't want to have to create more art. Just put on the back.
It's not. It's words.
I guess they didn't want black words on black background on both sides.
Too boring, I guess. Whatever. Zarek says, Tetris 99 is the real hardcore battle royale game. Fortnite is for unskilled kiddies. Congrats, Scott. Dude, I got like a third and a second place as well, so I kept getting close, but I thought I'm never going to do it. I didn't get chills thinking about it. So that's been what I've been up to gaming. So ready to try to get to some email and YouTube comments and all that stuff. I guess real quick, we had two people. We haven't had a comment left on our podcast page, like on our classicelite.com, since Tecmo Balls left us one. And no, Tecmo Balls was ported from the old Blogspot host. And I don't remember if Bradley is Tecmo Balls or not. You don't have to confirm Brad if you don't want to. But he's one of the names that he's one of the guys that's listened to every episode that we've ever had. But so the only reason I bring that up is we had two comments on our last episode on our website. One, I think, was from Jeremy at the Cartoon Retrocast.
Okay.
Because he goes by J-Dog a lot as a joke. Like, I'm J-Dog. Like he's like Mr. Poopy on Steam. Like, he's just always goofing around. And he just says, good stuff. Keep it up. Thank you, J-Dog. I think it's Jeremy. And then someone named Josh 2 months ago just says, what happened to the podcast? So I responded today, realizing, like, oh, shoot, I should say we're back. So, yeah, shout out to those two for leaving that.
Was
so
it DB?
I doubt it, but I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right. So do you want to, where do you want to start? Do you want to read Kevin's email or do you want, we got
it's just an alarm.
Do you want to read Kevin's email or do you want me to read Demez's comments from last episode first?
Let's not keep Kevin waiting any longer.
All right.
He's been waiting since September. All right, this is from our Canadian correspondent, Kevin. This was sent on September 17th, 2018. He says, hello, fam. It's been a while, so here's a super long email.
Well, sorry about that.
You guys were speaking about the new Xbox One subscription model, and I was really intrigued by that. I'd personally rather spend $30 a month for 2 years to own the system rather than putting $400 down at one time. Then I looked it up, and like all good things in life, it's a USA kind of thing. Does not apply to the CA of N. So, fuck. You guys also asked about owning a Talkboy. I owned a Talkboy watch, and there's a VHS tape of me on my 6th birthday. I must have got it for my birthday, where I keep talking into it while my mom asks me questions. Kevin, are you having fun? I would say, yes, it's the Talkboy, and play it back for my mom to hear. I was also being a fat dingus, and I kept saying, get over here, thanks to Mortal Kombat. If I find that tape again, I'll record it and send it in.
That'd be
the best
awesome.
part Yeah, it's very obvious no one was having fun at my party, but I was fat and happy. Speaking of nostalgia, I have none for Chrono Trigger. I tried playing this game about 4 or 5 times and cannot get into it. I tried really hard to like it, and I know it's a great game. I just can't dig it. I really tried and really want to. Instead, I like Chrono Cross, the one that everyone hates. I actually just completed it for the first time this year, and there's a lot of Chrono Trigger references toward the end. I apparently like the game no one likes, Final Fantasy VIII being my favorite Final Fantasy. Chrono Cross is good.
I was just watching Indigo Gaming last night on YouTube. Shout out to Indigo Gaming. He follows us on Twitter. Nice guy.
He does, yeah.
And he has amazing videos, and I just watched his retrospective. He's one of those channels that I've watched his videos, and I just was in the mood to watch his Chrono Trigger / Chrono Cross retrospective. Kevin, if you've not watched it, it's about 12 minutes long. You'll love it. It's awesome. So I'd highly recommend it.
Chrono Cross also the second video game soundtrack I've imported. First one being Symphony of the Night.
I feel like people have really softened on Chrono Cross. It was really... When I first started podcasting, I was not familiar with the game, and all I heard was, it's shit, there's too many characters, they focus too much on art, there's clunkiness about it, there's repetitive stuff, the story doesn't make sense, but I definitely feel like I hear more of what you've echoed. We're like, no, it's good, and Kevin's like, no, I actually liked it more.
Yeah. Kevin and I, we are partners fighting for video games that no one else likes. Because he says, moving on into games no one likes, I repurchased Splatterhouse from EB, as apparently it's gone into the depths of hell. I have no idea where it went, and I know I didn't trade it, as I love that game. I plugged in my 360, did all the necessary updates, tried to find what HDMI cable was what. There's about 8 behind my TV, and my TV only has 3 spots. Finally looked through my games, and it's not there. I moved recently and thought maybe it was in another box, but I looked on Facebook, where I take a picture of my collection for the likes, and for the likes.
For the likes. I just love how it's like, this is what I'm doing. Like, I'm just...
And notice it wasn't on my shelf at the old place either. Very weird. So I had it transferred.
Mandela to Mandela. He hopped universes. Poor guy. Memory's not supposed to come with you. That sucks. I hope his head doesn't implode on him now, knowing this.
I transferred it from another EB location, so waited a week. I've seen this game everywhere all the time, but now that I want it, no one had it. When I went in to pick it up, I apparently confused the clerk.
Do you want
me?
I'll be the clerk.
Okay. Hi, I'm here to pick up Splatterhouse.
Did you have a pre-order?
No, it's an old game.
Who did you speak to about it?
I spoke to a guy named Bruce, possibly Charlie. I don't remember.
Without a receipt, I can't sell it to you.
But it's Splatterhouse.
They're very limited.
Me and clerk give each other a blank stare. Me, Splatterhouse, like Splatoon, but no tune.
Oh, I've been hearing Spider-Man this whole time. Yeah, it's right here. Oh, poor Kevin.
Oh my goodness.
Alex, what's up? Good to see you, man. Got Xerix Mod stopping by, saying hi.
Speaking of Splatterhouse, that's Demez's favorite game.
Oh yeah,
We talked about that one.
yeah. He loves. I've never heard someone that loves Splatterhouse more than Demez, besides you and Kevin.
Yeah, he may even go like above us.
We probably gonna. The fact that I didn't acknowledge him as the biggest Splatterhouse fan is probably gonna piss him off. We might get a response about it.
Yeah.
And penises will be involved in the response somehow.
Yes.
Miss you, dumbass.
So Kevin goes on to say, Spider-Man is fucking amazing, by the way. I've had the game for a week and only now started the main story as I've taken selfies in-game and showing my wife, hey, look at this, lol, 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 lol. Isn't that cool? Her reaction, no reaction. In the last 4 years that I've had a PS4 only, now do I feel... Wait, in the last 4 years I've had a PS4, Only now do I feel it was worth it. God of War was really up there. It's the first time in a long time I actually paid for new games because I couldn't wait to play them. Get Spider-Man. Get it.
Yeah, I need to, that's on my to-do list. I'm waiting for a sale on that.
Same.
The hype almost got me though. I almost did pick it up. But now that I've missed the hype, I'm just waiting for that $15, $20 out of nowhere flash sale.
Yeah, or the Game of the Year version with all the...
Oh, yeah. The DLC I wouldn't open up or play.
Yeah. Around this time, I always have an urge to play Silent Hill. You should do that. Well, this is 6 months ago. I've played the original a bunch of times already, so I can beat it in about 3 hours. The Silent Hill formula is pretty much this. Lock door, lock door, lock door, open door, puzzle, get key, lock door, go downstairs. Key works on door, other puzzle, get block, key, lock door, and repeat. The same applies to Silent Hill Origin, which I'm playing again. Maybe I'll do all the Silent Hills after this, but Spider-Man is taking over on my time. Excuse me, I choked on spit. Also, Costume Quest is a great game, but I can never go back. I was playing it on my iPhone 5S and made it pretty far. Then my phone cracked and I got an iPhone 7 Plus with the newest iOS on it. Costume Quest no longer works, and a lot of games I had no longer work, including Splatterhouse OG, Earthworm Jim OG, and amongst others. This sucks, as I was having a blast with the game. Maybe I'll rebuy it on the PS4 if it's available. But I made it so far.
That sucks.
That sucks. Now for question of the week.
Week. Thank you, Kevin.
What is a game that you find yourself playing every year without realizing it's becoming a thing? Mine is Silent Hill and Final Fantasy VIII. I don't know why, but every year I have an urge to revisit those two games. That's pretty much it for now. I have no real purpose to this email, just saying hi. Typos left into laziness. Kevin sent from my iPhone.
What about you? You got any that gonna get the itch to play? Obviously you do, but any jump into mine?
Every year. Chrono Trigger around Christmas time.
I think that's a good call. Mine is now I realize it became a thing. This was years ago, but I noticed that I would escape from my family on Christmas or on Thanksgiving, and on Christmas at my grandma's house for a couple hours, and she had Zelda in the basement. And between Thanksgiving and Christmas, I would beat The Legend of Zelda. It only takes a few hours, and we were there all day, both days. That turned into a thing, so I start to get the itch around the wintertime. Also, I was really into Ocarina of Time during the wintertime. I don't remember what time of the year that came out, but that's when I played it the most when I was a sophomore. So, I would say that. And I think one that's starting to become that way is I just get an itch for Mario Maker. Like a lot. Yeah. I deeply love that game. I cannot tell you how excited I am for Mario Maker 2 on Switch. It's just...
I need to pick that one up.
That's a no-brainer. Day one, I'm getting it. Now, you're not going to like this answer, Dustin, because I'm going convenience. I absolutely know I'm going digital for that one, because I always want super quick access. I never want to have to walk out to my living room, because my games are stored in here where I podcast and all of that. But most of the time when I play my games, I play in my bedroom, which is on the other side of the house. Yeah. So there's plenty of times I'm like, maybe I'll just fire up, PlayStation 4 or whatever instead. Oh, before we get to Dumbness's comments, I do want to say one quick thing I forgot to talk about. Xbox One streaming through your house to a PC works surprisingly well.
Huh.
Yeah. And Dustin, you would not be on the podcast anymore if you did not have that light in front of you. It turned into the spoiler cast on you.
Yeah. Am I spooky over here?
Definitely spooky. So, All right, let me get oh, son of a gun. Man, it's gonna be a sad day when we lose Classic Studio on YouTube. It's gonna hurt. It's so much faster to get to the comments. I say that as I'm slowly getting to them. The new layout of the YouTube stuff is it's tough. So, anyways, Dumez said, I also loved Skyward Sword. We have no idea what these comments are about because we recorded this so long ago. So I'm glad one of us said that they love Skyward Sword. It was probably me.
Yeah.
I think that might be like that main theme from, like, other than the open world or the overworld theme from Zelda, I think the Skyward Sword theme is my favorite. Next to that, like, it's my second favorite, more than Gerudo Valley, more than the big bangers throughout the system. So, I mean, it really gives me an emotional response. I love that song. I like. That's a game that I'm hoping that people soften on as well. I feel alone, not anymore because I got Dumez with me. He likes it as much as Splatterhouse. I see. He says it does have some big flaws here and there, but it is a great game. He says it is very hip to hate waggle motion controls, even though the general idea is it must suck because of this. Yeah, I do think the waggle controls do. The end boss guy, the waggle controls, I got furious. They just did not work for the end boss. I do remember that. Like, I was moving my coffee table around just so that it would not charge the lightning thing. It did not matter how I pointed that damn remote. It was the most frustrating thing in the world. But up to that, it was fine. He said, fun fact, the camel divine beast on the Breath of the Wild is not a camel at all. Camels have one hump. Dromedaries have two humps. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And I have to say I hate that divine beast. It sucks so hard. That's where I'm still stalled at that. 35 hours into Zelda. Every time I try to play that, I'm in that stupid boss fight. I hate that boss. I've not finished that game. I was thinking I was playing one of the favorite games I've ever played. And like 3 hours after I made that comment game time, it was like, fuck this game. I'll eventually finish it, but it is definitely not one of my favorites. He says there's too many positions and switches and the way that they rotate. He says he finally gave up and got a YouTube guide and literally did it step by step. That's not fun. Note to Scott, you are not allowed to use P-Wings on World 8 of Super Mario 3. Just a heads up. Sorry. He says, I am like Dustin. I shield... Yeah, because of that Splatterhouse thing. I shield surfed once and forgot and never looked it up again. He says, I need a Link Between Worlds ported to the Switch and HDified. That is a game. Did you ever play Link Between Worlds?
That's the 3DS one?
Yeah. That's an A+ game. It's just excellent. They do a really unique approach to the inventory system. The music is great. The graphics are good. And, they're cute good. And there's some fun mechanics with that wall painting stuff. It's just a good-ass Zelda game. He says, my dad was a dirty foreigner, too. He mixed up with W and V all the time. But what was weird? V's and W's. When I would say that my Uncle Visa, he couldn't, it was Visa. It was what like my aunts would say or whatever. So yeah, he says it's weird. He could say W and V properly, but would mix and match where he would use it. So he'd probably be like Vater, or like Wace, like my new Wans. I can go skateboarding later. Sorry. What are you gonna do? So that's going to be it for the show this week, everybody. Thank you very much. Lively chat. Zern, thank you for stopping by. Alex, it was great to see you. Zarek, always a pleasure. Divix, Vepper was here, Ken was here, Bradley was here. Yeah, I mean, it was just awesome. Feel good. Ether. Yeah. So thank you guys very much for coming and hanging out with us while we are back to podcasting. Hopefully we'll have less technical issues last time. We had, 6 months of them to get out of our system. So, the gremlins got to us, but yeah, at this point, I guess, how do I end the show, Dustin? What do I do? I thank Ben Landis for the intro music, and I thank Cubby for outro music. I let people know that they can check out our RSS feed. It's available at classicleet.com. That's classic L337. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all those fun things. On social media, we're at Classic Leet, Classic L337. Just look for us. That's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Dustin, now that you're really into Vaporwave, you got to log into our SoundCloud account because I have an unbelievably well-curated list of amazing just chiptune songs, but it's like Twitter of music, so you just reshare shit that you like.
Cool.
And then that stays in our feed as well. So all you're doing is like listening to stuff you like and letting other people know that they should check this out. And we already follow a ton of awesome chiptune artists on there. So
cool.
Oh yeah, we have Amazon affiliate links if you'd like to support the show. Check them out in the descriptions and all that kind of fun stuff. Dustin, I think I got to watch The Thing soon.
Yeah.
We got to do
watch The Witch.
No, I'm
watching The Witch, did we?
No. We were going to do The Witch, and then we were going to do The Thing for Halloween.
Yes.
I'd rather watch The Thing than The Witch.
Okay.
I've not seen The Thing. I'm dying to see it.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah. So we'll catch up on these other things, but that also means that our spoiler cast will be back. We'll do that. We'll figure out a time. We'll give you guys a heads up.
Yeah.
I wrote that damn theme song, so we're gonna use it. If nothing else,
I forgot about that. Yeah,
it was so hard to figure that out, and we got to use it once. What are you gonna do?
More podcasts.
More podcasts. Just make up for lost time. Yeah, everybody. That's going to be it for episode 285. So I want to thank you very much for listening. And we will see you next week for episode 286.
Boosh.